Most people believe that the healing journey and the journey of transformation is about focusing in on what you do want to see in the future or what you are aiming towards. But in my experience, I've actually found the reverse to be true. So let me explain. In my healing journey, what I have discovered, the superpower that I have tapped into, is the fact that in order to achieve your dreams, the first thing and most powerful thing that you can do is actually turn around, flip 180, and really get to the bottom of what are all of the parts of me that are blocking me from being able to achieve this dream. And these will be all of the belief systems and all of the subconscious parts of your energy that are trapped in the pain of the past. So there will be experiences that you've had where you were made to feel unworthy or made to believe in limiting beliefs to say, oh, that's something I could never achieve, or, that will be someone else's dream, but not mine. And it's all of these minor, seemingly micro experiences and micro impressions that we've absorbed through time in our history that we're actually carrying energetically in our field all the time. Now, I also want to explain something about manifestation because this has obviously blown up massively, and people are talking about manifestation and how to manifest your dream job or your dream house or whatever it may be. But the truth that I want to explain really clearly is that we are all manifesting our whole reality all the time. So, what people are really referencing is a switch between unconscious manifestation to becoming a conscious creator. So, if you were saying, for example, oh, I'm going to focus on manifesting this dream job and I want it to look like this, this, and this, what people are actually learning to do is to use their creative potential in intentional ways. Whereas previously, before, so much of what we had been creating in our reality was being manifested from a place of our subconscious, which is full of lots of pain and lots of trauma, as well as some good things. But the bad things in our reality are actually reflections to us of energies that we are holding. So that's just a key thing that I want to explain and point out. This narrative flip of manifestation is not something that people are just starting to do for the first time. It's just that people are waking up to the fact that your reality is being manifested by your energy. And if you allow it to be done in an unintentional way, then the pain and the trauma and the energies that you're holding in your subconscious are going to be reflected back to you physically. So understanding then that there are pockets of pain from the past that we're holding in our energy field, and these essentially become these barriers, these blocks to you being able to become the future version of yourself that you would love to become, that you would love to experience. And this is the deep process of transformation that I have been on over, in particular, the last few months. And the process that I developed called emotional mastery. So, emotional mastery is focusing in on what are the aspects of our lower dimensions of consciousness. So, we're talking about the second dimension being the subconscious mind, and the first dimension is the unconscious, the body consciousness. So, we're using those realms of consciousness, those dimensions, and we're basically fishing, and we're going in there and we're finding what are all the parts in here that are holding you back from achieving everything you want to achieve and reaching states of joy and expansion and creativity that you otherwise haven't been experiencing because of all the weight and the baggage that had been being held beneath the surface, outside of the conscious mind, or sometimes it can be conscious too. So emotional mastery is about, it's almost like I'm seeing an image of a boat that is dredging things up off the seabed, off the sea floor. It's a case of finding out what's been hiding under there that was out of sight, lifting it up, bringing it up to the light, so that that information, that wounding, that past trauma, that pain can be seen and can be healed and can be integrated. And what we do then is we convert and transform that energy, and we lift it up into the higher realms, into the higher dimensions, which realigns it back into alignment with your divine blueprint and the energies of the divine that are trying to flow through you. So what this will do is give you a course correct in terms of your timeline, rather than going forward on the existing pathway or the existing timeline where you had been creating from places of insecurity or from limiting beliefs. What you do is almost change tracks like a train, like changing its alignment onto a new direction. And the new timeline that you can align into will be one that is filled with all of the synchronicities, all of the opportunities, and this great sense of connection and feeling uplifted and empowered by your reality and by the universe and by other people. So you'll find that solutions come to you more easily. Things happen in a more graceful way. It's more effortless. I'm not saying there isn't some effort involved. Obviously, we all have to apply effort in some ways, but it's almost like you're allowing the universe to pave the path ahead to bring your dream to you. You're drawing it in, you're magnetizing your dream scenario of the future to you. And it is so much more of a beautiful, graceful experience than trying to battle against your own subconscious and your own wounding through sheer like determination and effort and pain. So this just gives you a reflection on emotional mastery and what it is really offering. It is a deep dive into what are the pains and the traumas that you're holding, that you haven't been wanting to admit to, that you haven't been consciously aware of. How can we bring those to light? How can we convert them up into the higher dimensions, into the higher fields of consciousness, and restore them, realign them back into divine grace? And the magic that can unfold because of this process is honestly things that are unbelievable. And the version of you that you become is someone that feels completely new, someone who feels transformed, someone who feels empowered and standing in your sovereignty, your authority of like, I've got this and I know that I can do this. I have all the answers inside of me. And that is what really opens up the doors to understanding that I can achieve anything I want to achieve. And I'm so much more powerful than I realized. Deep breath. Another way to think about it in terms of the emotional mastery process that I offer. So this is a 90-minute consciousness reset, essentially. It feels, I'm not going to lie, it feels a bit like a psychedelic trip because it is really powerful. And the energy in your field is shifting. So one way to think about it as well is that there's many resources out there which are focusing on stretching or pushing your potential of who you are and how you can perform on your best days. But this is in some ways the inverse of that. This is very much a process about how can we raise the bar of your experience of you at your worst, on your worst days. When you're in a situation where, let's say, for example, something goes maybe badly, or you get really triggered by something, or there's someone in your field, in your reality that is really like triggering you, stressing you out. You're like, oh, this person's energy is not nice to be around. You know, in those kind of situations when we're really struggling, when it's something that's really challenging, emotional mastery is going to give you keys and transformation to really change how you feel, how you experience those worst days or worst times. And the shift that is available is that something that previously would have been really difficult, really challenging, really stressed you out, like something that you feel great resistance to, or someone you feel great resistance to, when you can tap into what is the pain that is causing this emotional response, and you take responsibility for it, you take accountability for it, you say, I can heal this within myself. Because remember, it's the things that we have inside that those are the controllables. We can't control what someone else might say or what someone else might do. So this is the most empowering realization to say, I can actually have an effect on the dynamic that might have been playing out in these challenges by focusing on the controllables that I have within my power to influence, which is looking into your dimensions of consciousness, looking into finding these secret nuggets of pain, of trauma, of wisdom, and converting them, healing them, integrating them. So emotional mastery really becomes, how do I up level on my worst days? How do I up level when I'm performing at my worst, or in the situations that I find the most terrifying, or that I hate the most? And this does such magic to increase your default setting, and also you on your best days. Also, it's almost like releasing the lid, like taking off this ceiling point that had been holding you back, because we start lifting up from the bottom and dissolving this pain body of trauma that everybody is carrying. But when you don't know it's there, and you don't know how to go about changing it, or you don't have the tools to be able to resolve it, then the question becomes, how do I change this? How do I change my experience? How do I change my life? And so this is what emotional mastery has done for me. And it's designed in a way that is so accessible that it can be used for anybody at any point on your spiritual journey. You don't have to be someone who's spiritual. And yeah, I just want to really empower you to understand that the future you, which maybe you feel like, oh, that would be out of reach, is very much achievable. And by lifting that bar of like, where am I struggling? Where do I find real pain or challenges? Then the trajectory forward will become something so much more expansive, so much more creative, so much more exciting, so much more joy, love, connection, ease. It becomes so easy, so natural, so clear, clarity. And yeah, that's a gift that I can't wait to share with you too.